Hi, so for today's video I'm going to be doing a look inspired by this. So my partner created this person on Marvel's Midnight Sun game and I just thought it'd be really cute to like recreate it a little bit because he was like, I'm so proud of her, I done her makeup. So I was like, okay, well let's sort of recreate it. So I am changing things up a little bit because I did try to do the look I think like 2 weeks ago and I used a silver eyeliner that I have from Milk Cosmetics, but from a distance it looked lovely, but close up and I was looking at pictures and stuff, I'm like, the eyeliner is like cracking, like it's just not sitting properly. So I'm going to try it a little bit different today. I'm actually going to try a white liner and then add some like silver glitter on top to sort of match with it so it doesn't look so cracked. It just the eyeliner's gorgeous, but the problem is it's literally like just pure cream. I'd say it's better as like an eyeshadow than I would say as a liner. But yeah, anyway, moving on. So we're just going to start. So brows are already done. They're a little bit darker than I usually would go. And I don't know if I like it or not, but I feel like when I get a full face on I'll be fine. But when I just have brows, I'm like, I just look like just nude. So I'm going to prime the eyelids. So I'm going to take the Smashbox. This is the 24-hour photo finish shadow primer. Said it before and I say it again, Smashbox no longer sell in the UK. So I'm just using this up until it's basically gone. And then obviously I will purchase a different one. I think the one I'm going to purchase is the MAC, I think it's like, is it Prep and Prime? Or is it like their 24-hour base thing? I don't know. It's literally the same as this more or less, but in black packaging. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, now that we're primed, I'm gonna move on to this palette. So this is the ABH, this is Norvina collection. I'm pretty sure this is volume 1. She has a few different volumes, but this is what she looks like. I thought she'd be really perfect. It's got quite a few purples in there, so we can sort of dabble in and out of what we want. But I'm probably going to stick with A2, A3 and B1 and just sort of go from there with that. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zoom you in a little bit closer so you can get a better look. So I am going to have a little towel so I can just pat the eyeshadow out onto this, because they're basically pigments. They're not really eyeshadows. They're very, very intense. So we just want to make sure that we're tapping off that excess product before we really sort of go in and pack it in, because if we go in straight away with all that product, I find it very, very difficult to blend. So that's why we're doing that. So yeah, obviously do be careful, they will stain your eyes. When I done it last time, I used this palette and I have purple just like rings around my eyes, but I washed my face the next day and it was completely fine. So to start, I think we're going to take A2 in the palette, which was this one here, and I'm going to take a Spectrum, and this is a, I think it says AO7. I can't really see, it's wearing off, but yeah, just gonna, like I said, dab that pigment onto the towel, and then I'm really gonna pack this in to the crease and just sort of really take it in there. Like I said, not a lot of pigment yet, so we've got to really build this up. So I just want to sort of lay this down first before I really go in and intensify it. Then taking a crown brush, this is a C429, and we're just gonna buff this up and out slightly. Like I said, very little pigment to start with, and then we're going to build it up, because this is kind of like our crease colour, so we don't want to add too much into it, but we can go in and take a smaller brush, which I'm going to, and really add that in. So it's kind of like baby steps at first. Okay, so this is where I'm going to take a smaller brush. So I'm taking a Sigma E36, so going back into A2 again, and like I said, taking that excess off on a towel, and then going like a little bit lower than this sort of crease bit that we have here, making that just a tiny bit lower, and taking that crown brush and just buffing this again slightly, basically just kind of going in, building it up, blending, just kind of doing what you need to do to get where you want to be. So I'm kind of just dusting this brush off on the little towel to get any of that excess pigment off. And then we're going to go into A3 in the palette, which is this one here. So taking that same Sigma brush, just dipping into this, again tapping that pigment off, and then taking this kind of a bit lower as well than what we did have, kind of just filling in this blank space a little bit, taking the crown brush and just buffing this through as well. I'm just cleaning off this brush on the little towel. You can also take, do I have it? Yeah, this is from Colour Switch, so it's literally, and you can like rub your brush in here and it will get the pigment off, so you can go ahead and move on to another colour. These are fantastic, especially for like pigments like this. So yes, moving on. So I'm going to take B1 in the palette, which was this one, and I'm going to take this lightly because this is a bit of a lighter colour, and I'm going to try and add a little bit more around the crease. So yeah, I'm going to take B1, dabbing that off on the towel yet again, and just sort of lightly, very, very lightly going around, taking the crown brush and just buffing as well. If you can hear that, I'll try and keep this in. I'm pretty sure that was thunder, which I don't like. So in the picture it does go around this part, but because of my eye shape, if you can see, I always talk about this, I've got like this excess skin here. So it's very difficult to match it up to this, so I'm actually gonna go out and under, but not round in the inner. I might go a little bit round on the outside. So obviously I'm just doing the top line for now. So I have got a few little different brushes here. So these are from Cosmetics. So I have the number 1 and the number 2. Number 2 is a bit beat up, she's all split, but she still works. So these are really fine liner brushes. I also have my Sigma brush, which is the EO6. So this is a winged eyeliner brush, so I can really just perfect that. So I think I'm going to take number 2 first. Number 1 probably might be to get a little bit closer to the lash line and stuff. So I'm just going to add a small line before I go ahead and like kind of make it a little bit thicker. So I'm using the Cosmetics. These are the wet liners. So this is in the shade Milk. So they are literally wet liners. It's in the name. So I've got a little thing of water here. So you dip it in to the brush. No, sorry, you dip the brush into the water. And then you literally swirl these in, and that's how they activate. So yeah, I'm going to try and keep this on camera, but I cannot guarantee that I will. But I'll try and do my best. But essentially it's just drawing a line. So I'm just going to take it a little bit thinner at the front. And just go along. So I am going to take it quite close to the lash line to begin with. And then we can go ahead and extend it where needed. So I do want to go a little bit thicker on the outer corner. So I'm just trying to do that. Then I'm going to take the number 1 brush, yet again dipping it into the water. And just keep this as close to the lash line as possible. Okay, so I think my eyeliner is even. I think I need to add a tiny bit more to this side, but I'll do that after. So I'm going to apply like a pigment to make it kind of like silverish, I guess. So this is like from Sample Beauty, I think it is. Yeah, Sample Beauty pigment in Angelic. So this is a whitey silverish kind of thing. So I'm going to take this brush. So this is a Peaches and Cream. This is a PC41. And I'm going to take a bit of glitter primer first. So I've got the one from Studio London, it's just a glitter primer. I'm pretty sure it's Superdrug's brand. If not, I don't know where my NYX glitter glue is. But yeah, obviously you can just use the NYX one, it's brilliant. So I'm just going to kind of add this on top. And then essentially just dip into the pigment. So it's still looking a little bit on the white side, but we've got a bit of sparkle going, it's looking a bit pretty. Gliss and Cosmetics probably have like a silver wet liner. I just have white, and I'm not going to purchase silver just for this look. So for lashes, these are well beat up. I need to actually clean them before I use them. So they're the Lily lashes in the style Diamond, so it's like their luxury collection. And then mascara, I'm using the Rose Ink mascara. It's the only one they have, so I'm going to do that off camera, come back, and then obviously we'll do the base makeup. Okay, so I wasn't recording. So I'm just applying the Tatcha. This is the Silk Canvas. So as I was saying, this looks beautiful on like pictures and film, and I'm like, yeah, I can definitely see my skin being like smoothed to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, like this looks a lot better. But not in real life. I'm not seeing a huge difference when I'm like looking in the mirror or anything like that. So yeah, I think if you're going to take like loads of pictures and stuff, I think this would be absolutely gorgeous. Another good one would be the Hourglass Vanish primer. I've done a review on it recently along with their foundation. And yet again, I'm not a big primer person. I just, like I said, don't feel like they do a lot unless it's like film and camera. And obviously the character that I'm kind of creating is obviously going to have like flawless skin because she is literally a video game. So yeah, I'm just taking this all over. I'm really sort of pushing that into my T-zone because that's where I get my most pores and kind of my most oiliest. So it's really just going to lock that in place. Really just sort of pushing this in. And also I changed my lashes, so I applied the R-Gel. These are the Naked Lash in 422, so I wanted a little bit of a natural lash, and this kind of gives me that. And the Lily lashes, I think they're on the last legs, like I need to throw them away. I think they're on straight. I tend to do this thing where I apply them, I think yeah, everything looks great, and then I look back at footage and I'm like, wow, what a hot mess. Or I go to take them off and I'm like, your eyelashes have never been on straight. So for foundation day, I'm going to take the Hourglass. This is the Vanish Seamless Finish Liquid Foundation. Sorry, I was going to say concealer then. In Bisque. So I took a pump, but it's way too much. You only need half a pump. This is very, very full coverage. This isn't the right shade for me. It's a little bit warm. But we're just going to a little bit on the neck and just blend that down. So I've just dotted this on the face. Then taking the It Cosmetics Love Is the foundation brush and just blend this through. So this is very, very full coverage. Probably the most full coverage foundation that I own. I do really like this. It is a beautiful foundation. But I would pick the Vanish stick over this any day, but still really beautiful foundation. Then I'm going to take a little bit of a colour corrector before I go in my concealer. So this is the Huda Beauty Fake Filter Corrector in Cherry Blossom. So I'm just going to a little bit of this on the under eyes only. Just taking it where I get that darkness. So I do like to let my concealer dry a little bit before I blend it out. So I literally just probably wait like a minute or two before I go ahead and do that. So I'm going to do that first, blend that out, and then obviously we'll go in with the concealer. Okay, so I'm just blending that out with the Hourglass. This is the Vanish concealer brush. So I've been concealer today. I'm going to take the Rose Ink concealer. I don't know what it is, but I think it's like the hydrating one, and this is in LX010. So I do take a bit and I do wipe a little bit off because it does hold a lot of product in here. So I'm just going to take eyes, outer corner here. So I'm going to do this to brighten this up a bit. Yeah, again, wait for this to dry before you blend out.
Then who looks over worst? No one. Then why do they make...
So to set the concealer, I'm going to take the Huda Beauty. This is the Baby Bake Loose Baking Setting Powder in Pound Cake. So I just have the little mini one. So I'm just going to take some of this onto a palette. And then I'm going to take an Hourglass. This is a number 14 brush. And just set the under eyes of this. Then for contour today, I'm going to take the Pink Honey Contour Cake in S'mores and Kisses. So I no longer support this brand, but I just have it, so I use it. So I'm going to take the Spectrum A18. And kind of where this shadow sits in my face. So now I'm going to apply this. Then I'm taking a Jady Wadey. I think this is the Luxie nose contouring brush. And I'm just doing that to my nose as well. Then to blend that out, I'm going to take a crown brush. This is a C436. And just buffing this in. So I'm trying not to pull it down. If anything, I'm going to try and keep it in place, but also like kind of pull it up maybe more than sort of dragging it down. Just so we're not really pulling that contour down and sort of dragging our face down. With my nose contour, I'm just kind of trying blend it out with my finger a little bit, and then taking the other side of the Jady Wadey brush. This is the more fluffy side. And I'm going to just sort of bake here, just taking this on the brush. So this was the Huda Beauty powder, just like a little bit really. Then for bronzer, I'm going to take the Nudestix. This is the Nudie Mattes All Over Face and Bronzer colour in the shade Bondi Babe. Or Bondi Bay. Either one. I'm just going to take this higher than where the contour is. And just add more warmth to the skin with this. Taking the same brush that we used to blend out the contour and just blend this. Same thing, kind of trying to keep it in place but buffing it up a little bit and just blending it back into the hairline as well. Then to add a little bit of powder on top, because we're extra here, I'm going to take the Lorac Tantalizing Buildable Bronzing Powder in Pool Party, and I'm going to take a Crown Brush C522. And we're just adding that onto where we put the cream bronzer. So for cream blusher, I'm going to take the Melt Cosmetics. This is the Cream Blush Light in Cali Dream. So I'm going to take that on a Cover FX liquid foundation brush, but it's kind of just the same thing, that kind of shape that I want. So just going to tap that onto a palette and just go in, taking that back to the bronzer. Then for like blush highlighter, I'm taking the new Fenty. This is the Hot Cheeks Velour Blush Light in Fresh Peach. And I have used this once already. It's absolutely stunning. So it's kind of going to give us that blushy and kind of glowy. So I'm going to apply a little bit of highlighter, but it's only going to be cream and I'll show you after. But yeah, this is truly just like beautiful. So I'm taking that same crown brush and just adding this on. I haven't bought anything from Fenty Beauty in ages, and I bought this and their Gloss Bomb oil. So stunning, by the way. Really love that. I was just super excited for these, and I know they're limited edition because it's up for the summer, but I hope they keep them around forever, because honestly it's so good. So good. Oh, so just to add a little bit of cream highlight and just add a little bit more, I'm going to take the Vive. This is the Skin Dew. So this is a glow multitasker. So yeah, it's only the little mini one. I got it in like a kit. So you bought this along with like the Skin Nova, which was like extra large. So yeah, I'm just applying a little bit of this just to the tops of the cheeks really. Then I'm going to take this before I do my lower lash line. So this is the Revolution Hyaluronic Hydrating Essence Spray. And she's full on, why is she leaking? Ooh, okay, she's just leaking. Just gonna spray that on. So we're gonna go into the Sigma brush and we're gonna take A3 from the palette again. Again, dabbing it off onto that towel and just lightly taking this And I'm going to take this all the way through, so all the way around. So it's going to go from in the corner and it's going to extend and kind of join back up to this outer corner. I'm going to take a bit of a smaller brush. So this is the Spectrum and KG Hues. This is the number 18. Going into A3. Taking the crown brush and just buffing that through. Then we'll take a mixture of B1 and A2 on the Sigma brush and just kind of lightly and as close as we can to extend this through. Don't want to take it too low down. Obviously you can take it as close as you like. I quite like a heavy lash line, especially with something quite bold. Obviously it's all personal preference, but yeah. Okay, so I think I applied a little bit more glitter than I wanted to on the lash line, on the lower lash line anyway, but I think I'm happy with it. I kind of like how it's like a little bit sparkly, but I also do think it's currently in my eye, so do be careful with that, especially if you're wearing like contacts and stuff. Anyway, I'm going to take the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Spray. There we go. I'm going to apply some lower lash mascara, but you can see none, you can see it on my head. So for lips, I'm going to take the Kylie lip liner in literally the shade Kylie, along with her matte lipstick. So it comes in a little package, you can buy it together. I am such an advocate for the bullet lipsticks. I think they're so good. The only thing about the lip liner is it does drop down, so you have to be quite careful applying it because it kind of just slips in and out. Yeah, they are really nice. It's just, it's like my pet peeve with these. Yeah, let's see it's falling down. I thought these were going to be better than when they first come out, so I obviously bought like the original Kylie lip kit, and they do the same thing, and I thought they might have sort of fixed that, but apparently not. Then taking the lipstick in Kylie. Okay, so this is the completed look, and I do really like how it come out. I wish I didn't add as much glitter as I did to the lash line. I think I went a little bit ham, especially me and Sparkle, like me, it'd just be all over the lid. But yeah, I think it's actually really pretty. I think it's quite similar to how the photo comes out. I'm going to leave a little side by side here moment. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Alright, bye! So I'm going to take the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood